We're going to be talking about Filecoin's recent surge and what the potential is for this coin in the near term future. Of course, a lot of this is going to depend on what happens with Bitcoin because that is still the driver of this market. I am still very bullish on the crypto markets as a whole because Bitcoin has actually just broke above its previous all-time highs at about 110K. Even though there are some mixed signals for Bitcoin, I did a more detailed video on Bitcoin earlier today, so make sure to check that out. I always trade altcoins with a clear understanding of Bitcoin's chart in mind. Okay, that is still the driver and number one factor. So what I'm seeing as Bitcoin is there are still some mixed signals, but it has some more bullish signals, including it just broke above its all-time highs, which could affect the altcoins. Okay, if Bitcoin continues pumping, very good for the altcoins. However, if Bitcoin starts dumping, still bad for the altcoins. So what I'm seeing here for Filecoin is this is the weekly time frame. Okay, for the past couple of weeks, Filecoin has been on a surge. Went from just about $2 all the way to about just about $3. Okay, so that is still a pretty good surge for a bigger altcoin like Filecoin. It is like top 100 by market cap. So this is not a small cap altcoin here. So even though it's only up by 50%, in small altcoins terms, those are small numbers. But in a bigger altcoin terms, right, these are actually some pretty big numbers, 50% in a couple of weeks. What could be happening with Filecoin here? So if we actually zoom out, if I'm actually zooming out here for Filecoin on this weekly time frame, this is a falling wedge pattern. I've been pointing out these patterns on many altcoins, and I've seen these patterns break to the upside because it has more of a chance that it does break to the upside. It usually tells you that after an extensive downtrend here, that the price action is likely to break out to the upside. Now, if Filecoin actually breaks out here, just for example, it doesn't have to be, right? The price target would be about $13 Filecoin. Quite a bit of resistance along the way, including the weekly moving averages. That's going to be some key resistances on this time frame that you guys should be paying attention to. And this is let's zoom into a slower time frame here for Filecoin and see what we could be dealing with. Okay, this is the 4 hour time frame. Okay, smaller time frame. Now, no particular pattern is formed yet based on the recent trading data. But what I see is if Filecoin comes back up here to retest this about $3 level, right? It could form a cup and handle pattern, which is still hypothetical. It hasn't formed yet, but it could if it comes back to retest that $3 level, right? Because you guys can see that it's still building rounded bottoms on this 4 hour time frame, right? However, if this rounded bottom or this higher lows pattern gets invalidated, then we could be looking at something else. But this is basically what I'm seeing for Filecoin, right? I am long on Bitcoin, quite a bit of the altcoins here. So my opinion on this market is still bullish, but this whole video is just my opinions and not financial advice, of course. You got to do your own research. So this is basically what I'm seeing. If you guys want to continue seeing more of Filecoin, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, letting me know you guys want to continue seeing more of this coin. And I'll see you on the next one.